We're going to go through different sorts of rugs that you can use, but first we want to show pictures of using a huge rug in a space, because we said it during the last question, like get it as big as you possibly can.
Completely.
So that all the furniture is on the rug. Look at this rug if you can see it there. It's a pretty neutral tone, but it's huge.
Yeah, this is the townhouse at Paris that we were talking about with the washroom, and we did one rug for the living room and dining room because we didn't want that space in between, and it makes the space feel much bigger than having two little rugs.
Do you have to get that custom?
You do, and it was yard goods, so it wasn't a carpet like this, it was broadloom off a roll, and we just give them the dimension, they serge the edge or put a border on the edge, so it's a very affordable way to do it.
Great, and we have another picture as well where you've done it. This is at the Princess Margaret House.
Yes, the Princess Margaret Show House last year. You can see that huge rug because there's a lot of furniture. There's 3 areas. There's 2 seating areas and the dining area, so you wouldn't want to have had 3 carpets, and it would have been odd to have one big one and one small one for the dining room. So we did one huge one. It's great for entertaining also because you can move the furniture around, extend the dining room table. It's a great solution.
Sadly, still not a problem that I have right now at my house.
Size matters.
Size matters. It matters, especially when it comes to your rug. You want to delineate space.
Correct.
You want to make it seem conversational. You want to tie everything in.
And the flexibility of moving things around. You want to be able to move things around.
Yeah, so you're not trapped if you've got one big rug. Walk us through the selection we have here, Shai.
Yeah, so what do you do in a big open space when you don't have a big rug that you can kind of use one rug for the entire space, and how do you kind of mix and match? So again, everything is from W Studio. So if you look at the rugs here, there's a similarity in color, and the way that you guys are probably seeing it on camera is because they're actually sitting in opposite directions, but they are the same color. What they've decided to do instead, however, is do a border on this rug here, which you see here, and without a border here. So this would look great in a dining room, and then this you could do in the living room. So there is that tie-in that way. Same coloring, little bit of a difference.
And that happens when you have the living room, dining room that are connected, but there might be an archway in between.
Right.
So you can't really do one carpet.
No.
Because you have that archway that defines the two, but they're still open to each other.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that there's some similarity between the two, like these two.
Well, exactly. So, but let's talk about color and similarity. So here we talked about color being one of the ways in which you can kind of cross-pollinate again.
Yeah.
But you also have to be conscious of the actual style of the rug. So very modern or very contemporary looking as opposed to a more traditional rug. These two I would not put together actually. They just don't, you look at it and you can see something feels wrong.
Okay.
So
the color's not enough.
Color is not enough.
They're competing with each other.
Exactly.
All right.
100%.
But what's interesting about this is a cut pile, and we've used this backwards also. So you have the needle point. If you can turn them upside down.
That's a good idea.
Almost like a second life. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like 2 rugs for the price of one.
The price of one. Or get both, do one on one side and one on the other side, and then you've got that good situation happening. Okay, how about over here?
So over here, these 2 rugs here have a very modern feel to it. They're abstract. So there is cross-pollination in the coloring itself, and they're not exactly the same rug though. So when you look at them, you can see that there is a story or there is a cohesiveness between the 2, and yet and of course they work together. Now, a lot of people might look at these 2 and say, too busy for me in an open space. You can absolutely do a solid and then do a pattern. So pick a color out of the pattern and then do a solid as a balance to the patterned rug that you have on the other side. Let's say, for
example. What I was talking about earlier, these are hand tufted, which means every yarn is tufted in. Where the carpet we have on the set is similar, but it's printed, which means it's a solid color carpet, and they print the image on it. So that's why that one is so much more affordable, because you're looking at machine goods that have a print on it, and each yarn is hand tufted.
So that's going to cost you more.
Correct.
Way more labor going into that. But it's still the same look, so it's really up to your budget.
Correct.
Let's
How
talk
about these 2?
Pile. So we talk about pile and a rug, and Brian was just talking about that. When you have a higher pile and a lower pile, sometimes it fights with one another. And when we talk about pile again, we talk about the height of the actual rug itself or the fibers in the rug. So this is like a second life, not dissimilar from when you flipped over that rug there. And these 2, again, they are similar in style, similar in coloring, but the pile is different and it just looks off. So you want to keep a similar pile at least when you're doing 2 rugs in an open space.
So when we're talking about second life, what second life means is they take carpets that are older carpets, often worn down, and they might dye them a color. So this might have been a bright carpet that they put a beige dye over it. And sometimes you'll see them in turquoises and green and pink. So they're taking old carpets and giving them a new life with new color.
I love it. This whole segment, all I've been thinking is they're dressed better than me.
That never happens.
Come and stand beside me. I very rarely feel like a schlep on this show, but look at them down to the slippers on your feet and your beautiful Italian leather. Where's my wardrobe, people?